The Ortegas were gone by August. The house was on the market by September. It closed in November. I never told anyone the fence dispute had anything to do with it. I retired from a software company in 2019. My wife and I moved to a master-planned community in southern Nevada because we wanted the weather and we did not want to mow. There is an HOA, there are guidelines, there is a board. The Ortegas, Miguel and Yesenia, with 2 daughters in middle school, bought the house behind ours in 2021. They installed a privacy fence on the lot line in May 2022. The fence was, depending on whose tape measure you trust, 4 to 6 inches over the boundary onto my side. It was a vinyl fence. 8 feet of it sat on land that was technically mine. I raised it at the next HOA meeting. The board punted. I raised it at the meeting after that. They told me to work it out with my neighbor directly. I went to Miguel 3 times. The first time he said he'd look at it. The second time he said the surveyor disagreed with me. The third time he said he was not moving the fence. The contractor who did the work was a man named Hector. Hector had done some work at our place the year before. He'd done a good job. He'd left a thank you card in our mailbox after we paid the final invoice. I knew where Hector was from. I knew, because I had heard it from a neighbor who hires day labor and likes to talk, that Hector did not have papers. I submitted an anonymous tip on a Tuesday morning in June. It took 5 minutes. They asked for a description of the workplace and the make of the truck. The HOA board does not move quickly on anything that can wait. The fence had become a thing they were tired of hearing about. I had become a person they were tired of seeing at the microphone. By the 3rd meeting, I had stopped expecting them to do anything. They came on a Thursday. Hector was alone at the Ortega's property doing the trim. Miguel and Yesenia were both at work. The girls were at camp. Ice took him in handcuffs from the front yard. The Ortega's across the street neighbor saw the whole thing. Word traveled. Hector was deported in 3 weeks. He had a wife and a son in Las Vegas. The son is American. Hector's wife went with him. The son went with the mother. He was 9. The Ortegas did not connect it to me. There was no reason to. Miguel went around the neighborhood asking who might have called, and several people asked me directly, and I said I had no idea. I said it with a face I have used in negotiations my entire career. Miguel believed me. Yesenia, I think, did not. She stopped saying hello at the mailbox. Within 2 months, the Ortegas had decided they couldn't stay. Yesenia would not say why out loud. The for sale sign went up in August. The girls finished out the school year remote learning from a relative's place in Phoenix. Miguel handled the move alone in November. The fence was a question I no longer needed to ask. The new owners removed it the week they moved in because they wanted a pool. I had a margarita at the closing day party they threw, and I told a story about my granddaughter, and everyone laughed. 3 years later, I cannot eat in front of a vinyl fence. I notice that this is true, and I have not told my wife it is true. My wife liked the Ortegas. My wife does not know. The last thing Hector wrote on the thank you card he left in our mailbox was, and I have the card, I kept the card, it is in my desk, thank you sir for being kind. He spelled kind with a small K. He had nice handwriting. The card is still in my desk. I take it out sometimes. I have not torn it up. I cannot tell you why. I tell myself my wife would still want to live here. I have not asked her. What would you have done? Tell me in the comments.